Oh man, so today is a big day for crypto. As you know, over the last few months, we've had a huge correlation between equities and Bitcoin. Will that continue? The rolling 30-day correlation has been 93% between the Nasdaq and Bitcoin, but we saw something emerge in the charts the last few days before the weekend on Thursday and Friday, where the equity markets were moving and Bitcoin would not follow suit. We then, over the weekend, while the markets were closed, saw that Bitcoin went for a nice rally and managed to break through 31,000, rallying on Memorial Day yesterday while equity markets were shut. What is going on? Are we going to continue this correlation, or are we going to get this decoupling? We're going to go through all of that and more in this video. Make sure you hit up the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. As always, guys, if you want to trade any of these moves, consider checking out PRIMEXBT. Links in the description. They've been kind enough to offer this community up to $7,000 in bonuses. Yes, you can sign up, use the coupon code Ijaz1 when you deposit, and you're going to get a bonus of up to $7,000, which you can use for a trade without actually touching your deposit. Now, let's get into the Bitcoin chart. We can see Bitcoin broke through nicely through 31,000 and is now doing really well. But as I said, the equity markets were in the green on Thursday and Friday, but Bitcoin wasn't. And we started getting worried now because let's just go back and kind of cover off some of the themes, right? So we saw this decoupling on Thursday. This is the first time this has happened for a long, long time. We saw the S&P moving one way and we saw Bitcoin moving the other way, which was very, very interesting to see this divergence. Now, if we go back a little bit, let's go back into 2021. And in 2021, you could see that what was happening was Bitcoin, each of these assets here, their correlation to Bitcoin. Now, the way correlation is measured is from -1 to 1. 1 is perfect correlation. Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum goes up, right? That's why Ethereum is sitting here close to the upper bound. Negative correlation, -1, is the opposite. Bitcoin goes up, but the asset goes down, okay? And then no correlation is anything close to 0. And as you could see, apart from Ethereum, pretty much gold, S&P, bonds, and the dollar all pretty much sat between -2 to +2, +0.2, +0.3. So in other words, very little correlation between these assets in 2021. Bringing that forward, however, into 2022, you could see a huge difference. You saw at the beginning of January, there was a 0.4 correlation. We were speaking about this. I think we were one of the first channels to talk about this correlation. And if you watch my videos, I specifically pivoted to talking just about crypto, to saying, hang on, guys, the crypto market is going to be dictated by the S&P and Nasdaq. And I started bringing in more macroeconomic elements for you guys, because that's what was going to steer the market and meant we had the head start. So we knew that this was happening, and it climbed and climbed and climbed. And it's got really high correlation here over the last couple of months. Like I said, the rolling 30-day correlation was 0.93. That is a huge correlation between the Nasdaq and Bitcoin over the last 30 days. But then, like I said, we ended up with a little bit of a decoupling. So what happened? What's going on? So again, just to reiterate the fact that there was, excuse this chart for being a little bit blurry, but there was a huge correlation, right? Again, Nasdaq 0.82, 0.78 on S&P, and you can see less correlation here for gold and the dollar index, if anything, slightly negative correlation. Okay, so that brings us down to the positive day to say, to the present day, to say, hang on, what's going to happen? Because what we don't want to happen, remember, all this time now, as the equity markets have been falling, the market has been risk off, and Bitcoin was considered as a risk on trade, i.e. a trade which you take when markets are booming, okay, or markets are feeling positive. So as equities fell, we saw Bitcoin and therefore crypto start to fall to the downside. Now, what we don't want to see is for equities to start rebounding because of fears of inflation dissipating, or they think, okay, we're through the worst of it now, the Fed is back on our side, equity markets start to bounce, but then Bitcoin doesn't follow with it. That would be not great, because we took the downside with equities and we're not going to be correlated back to the upside. We're going to be on our own journey back up. Now, the other thing, it's fine if equities continue to fall and Bitcoin continues to fall. We can pretty much expect that. If the equity markets open up in the red today, which you can see, by the way, if we track the futures, you can see that they're giving up a little bit of the gains from last week. So again, these are just futures. We won't know until the markets open in a couple of hours, but 0.34 down, 0.34 down on the S&P, and slightly flat here on the Nasdaq. And again, you can see crypto following that, pretty much flat here on Bitcoin today in a consolidation pattern, trying to form a little bit of flag, which could suggest we could try and push through 32,614 if we get a green day from equities, right? If that correlation is going to hold. Now, the ideal case really for crypto is to decouple in the other way. To decouple in the way that even if equity markets are flat or slightly down, Bitcoin and crypto can continue to rise and keep its pumpability to the upside. That would be the ideal case. That is pretty much what we saw in 2021. Remember when I was showing you these charts, there was little correlation. Bitcoin was doing its own thing, and eventually we want to see that decoupling. Now, how do you get such a decoupling? Well, a decoupling comes from novel innovation. Right? When projects start to become creative and innovative, that's when you get the decoupling. And it's in these crypto winters that you get the best of innovation. And that's the key right now, is if you go back and study previous bull markets and bear markets, in the bull markets, everybody just copies what works. If it's DeFi, everybody's copy and pasting the best DeFi networks over Ethereum and putting it on their own blockchain. If it's NFTs, everybody's copying the NFTs that was done, that were popular, and trying to do a different version of it, right? And it repeats. And if someone's doing play to earn, somebody's copying it and trying to do another play to earn. There's no novel innovation. There's no real new use cases that's going to bring new audiences in. But if you look at bear markets, at crypto winters, that is where many great companies and centralized and decentralized projects are built. OpenSea, Coinbase, many great projects were built during these winters with real new novel use cases that bring new people into crypto. And that is what we need to hope for now. We need to hope for that during this crypto winter, people really go back to basics and say, hang on, us doing a fork of a DeFi project is just not creative enough anymore. Us doing a copy paste NFT project is not going to work anymore. We need to be creative. We need to go back to the drawing board, do what other people are not doing, and build out a real good project with good use cases that people are going to use for many, many years. And those projects will eventually lead to that decoupling. It will allow crypto to move on its own accord because it's creating innovations that aren't tied to traditional markets. At the moment, it's just risk on, right? Risk on, risk off, and it's being treated like that. But in order for us to move and decouple, we're going to need that innovation piece. And these winters are perfect time for that. Historically, that's when we've seen these new innovations occur. So big day today, waiting eagerly for the markets to open up to see what happens. Remember, if equities are green and crypto isn't, that's a red flag for us. And we're going to have to pick up to understand what is going on. If equities are green and Bitcoin is green, good stuff. It means we can start to move alongside it with it as equities start to rally. If equities obviously fall in the red again after last week's bounce, then pretty much as predicted, we're going to see crypto fall slightly with it as well. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully this makes a lot of sense around some of the correlations, because a lot of people are asking around equities and other macro assets to crypto. If you appreciate this type of content, smash up the like button and subscribe. If you like my perspective, consider checking out course member live streams, ijaz.uk/member. I'm now going to link up a video to a really important video you guys need to watch. If you want to become a full-time crypto investor, go and watch this video. I really outline all the things you need to consider before you set out on this journey. Go watch that video, leave me a comment to let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.